This is a video chart presentation of Desmarais Energy Corp, brought to you by allpennystocks.com. Desmarais trades on Toronto Venture Exchange on the ticker DES. See, it's had a nice climb to end last year, going into the beginning part of this year. It slid back down, not quite as low, 8 cents down through here, still holding the 13-cent mark. You can see it's been relatively flat throughout the month of May, bottomed out at 12 cents, peaked up at 14.5, holding right there around the middle at 13. Sometimes when stocks get in a position like this, where they're just kind of channeling sideways and things are drying up a little bit, it's really showing some indecision. It's what we call a lot of times a make or break point. So we'll take a look at these lower indicators, giving us any hints this is going to try and make a move. See, we are getting an uptrend in the MACD. 12 EMA is on top of the 26. People refer to that as the fast line leading the slow. Very similar look to the PPO. The upward trend is a positive thing. It's what we call an ADX play. It's in a nice position for a reversal with the negative DI up real high and the positive DI down low. ADX is splitting right down the middle of them. So it's relatively neutral in a lot of senses. But when you see the negative DI up high and the positive DI down low, you look for reversals to happen. Just want to keep an eye on this ADX, see if it starts to make a move in the coming days. The MFI, the 7's moved up real high fast because that tells you that the buying must be coming in basically on the ask side. So I haven't looked at the L2s on this. I'm assuming that the 13 is probably the ask, the offer side. And when the buying is coming in on that side, it'll move that 7 MFI a lot faster than the 14 or 21, just because it's not done on very heavy volume. Accumulation distribution also flatlined recently. Shaking money flow gives a little bit better of perspective through here. You can see the buying pressure is starting to come in a little bit. That's why you're seeing the uptrend in the shaking money flow. See a nice uptrend in the CCI, holding above negative 100 is a positive thing. You want to see it get above 0, though, to become a little bit more bullish. You can see the full stow is trying to make some higher lows. Again, moving towards that 50 area, which is putting it in a pretty neutral position. But over the last few weeks, this is showing a little bit of momentum coming into the play. For these sort of lower volume plays, a lot of times I'll look at these longer term indicators, like the MACD, the PPO, the tricks. They're exponentially smooth. A lot of times they can give you a better view as to what's going on because they're not as prone to whipsawing. Especially the tricks, a very slow, very smooth indicator. Right now you can see a bullish cross is getting ready to happen. What I'd look for in this is you can see through there a very long-term downtrend. And in the more immediate, I'd look for that trend line to be broken. If that happens, it'll show us trying to break out of the channel that it's in. It's something I'll keep my eye on. RSI is basically flatline. Price per share is just kind of channeling sideways. Not very much up or down movement in it. That's why I've got all three components of the RSI just riding sideways like that. What I'd look for in this play is, of course, to hold that bottom support at 12 cents. I'd look for this to try and move through a resistance at 15 cents. These few selling days right here are what turned things like shaking money flow down the way that it did. You can see that was some days that actually had some decent volume, over 100,000 shares traded, closed lower. That'll take those volume-based indicators and push them downward. And then what you saw in that shaking money flow was the increase coming back towards 0 when it held the base and started to put together a few up days. Just so you understand a little bit as to what goes on with those indicators. Right now, look for that base at 12 and look for resistance at 15. And equally important, look for some regular volume to come into this. If this starts to see some regular volume, you start to see some upticks in this. It could be a pretty good sign some momentum is going to try and come into this play. So those are the two key spots I'd really have my eye on. Resistance is a little bit staggered from there forward, up until around 18 cents. I think that's going to be a more substantial area. But again, from where that is, that's a large move. If it tips down to 12, it's a 50% move up to 18. And as we've seen so many times in the past, these lower volume, low flow plays can move very quickly and very easily, especially when they're down in this range. So I think this chart is kind of at that make or break point. There's a lot of indecision going on. There's still some buying trickling into it. And it looks like it's indeed trying to find a bottom here at 12 cents, which overall represents a higher low in the grand scheme of things. If you just put some line through there along these lines, you can see a higher low being made. So I think the Desmarais chart has some potential here in the near future to see if it's going to try and turn from bearishness to bullishness. Get some indications from it, these longer term indicators. And we're definitely seeing some indecisiveness in the candles. So we're going to have this on radar for the rest of this week and into next week, and we'll see how this performs. As always, video chart is merely my interpretation. I'm not a financial consultant and strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure. Do not base any investment decisions on any material found on the website and/or its video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching and trade smart.